Lokman video. How are you, man?
Hello, my friend. All good, thank you.
I'm very excited to have you here on our first episode of the Social Target podcast. I know you're very busy, so thanks a lot for finding the time.
No worries for you. This and more.
Great, I like that. Awesome. So, Lokman, obviously, for who doesn't know you, the few people who don't know you, you are a very successful YouTuber. You have your own channel. The main channel is Lokman Video, which obviously I will link everything in the description below, and people can check you out. I want to start from the beginning. Let's say we're in high school. Who is Lokman?
Okay, Lokman was a young guy, a creative guy, someone who really loves animation, videos, graphics, but also limited by the time, because because we have the same age and you know it well as well. At that time, technology was not that great like today, so we were very limited. For example, if you wanted to record and make videos, you were very limited by the cameras. They were very expensive and not like today, which we have with a phone, with a 300 euros phone, you can make a movie if you want. Cameras were really, really expensive. Computers for editing were expensive and not fast, not good enough for making something good, except for big studios, but that was another story. So yes, from that period I used to make animation using 2D softwares. That was more affordable and doable. So that's why I started making at that age animation, 2D animation, hand-drawn animation. I wanted to make 3D stuff, but for the same reason for about the video story is the same for the 3D. Computers were very expensive. Graphic cards were really, really expensive. So if you wanted to make animation, 3D animation, you couldn't do it. You could do some 3D modeling and some rendering for single frames, but not an episode like I'm doing now for my channel. So the beginning was more about 2D animation. Then with technology and when it became more accessible and cheaper and more powerful, I started just as a hobby, like most of people. I started to make some personal project with my friends and doing like small episode. At the beginning where we were posting, I don't know if I can say this word posting at that time, but we were just showing the videos to our friends and close friends. Then YouTube came, and I was a little bit late to the YouTube era, because to be honest I didn't have a good internet connection at home. It's a very bad excuse, but that was the real reason. But at the end, after many years, I said to myself, why not publishing my stuff online and see what happened. And I saw many other channels doing things not similar, let's say similar, but many different channels, and I said, why not? You can have a voice online and you can have a chance. Let's do it. And at the beginning it was not successful because, maybe we can talk about it later, about what it make it successful. Consistency. Because at the beginning I was uploading and leaving the content there, but the big step, the big jump happened when I started to make it more consistent and uploading every week. And we can discuss about this later if you want.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I have a lot of nice things that I want to get into later.
Great.
But basically now I want to understand, how did you get into this? And you briefly explained it. You were very creative. You started doing a little bit of animation on your own.
Yes.
I know for a fact, because I've known you for many years now, that then you started actually making it a work, a job actually. You started working in animation in studios and agencies. How did that transition happen? Like, how did you go from being the kid in high school doing things on his own, showing to the friends, to then going and working into agency work?
Yeah. Actually, it was quite rough, and in a very, very particular, difficult and not conventional way, because in high school I was a mechanical in a mechanical school. I used to make mechanical, I don't know how you say it in English, like mechanical technician. That was my school. The most creative things for me there was the 3D CAD design, where we used to design mechanical parts in 3D, before in 2D, and then in 3D. And that was like a first step at school in, let's say, creativity. It was not creative, but for me it was creative. Everything related to visual and computer, for me, is creative. And I'm a big computer guy, and I really love whatever it happened behind and in front of a computer.
And you also like a lot of all the new gadgets that come out.
Yes, exactly. You know me very well. Exactly. And after school, I did 3 years of 3D design, where my job was to prepare and create 3D drafts about the mechanical projects, and then develop them when I learned how to develop them with the engineers. At the beginning was just a draftsman, where I was just a draftsman. Then I started to develop, but after 3 years I realized that wasn't my path. It was a good work as well. I don't want to say that was bad, but for me it was not the right thing, because since I was a kid I always wanted, and my dream was to be a Disney guy. But really, at the beginning, and at that time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to be in the industry, in the creative industry. So I did the big jump, and I started to do many different jobs. The most creative things that I could afford to do was working on in an ad agency in Italy, where we were doing websites and graphic design. That was a beginning, because it was not what I wanted, but at least I was starting to work more in the creative part, so using like programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, stuff like that. It wasn't very
fulfilling
for me, exactly, but at least it was a beginning. And of course, I wasn't that good as well, so I couldn't pretend to do whatever I wanted since the beginning. So I have to go through the process. I did for some years, around I think 4 or 5 years of that job in different studios. Then in between, actually, I was doing also some freelancing job. And the funny thing was that thanks to that side project of doing freelancing videos and animations for clients, and at the beginning were for free, my goal was just to make my work be known by other agencies. So at the beginning I didn't care about money. I really needed money. This is why I kept the other job. I was still working on things that I really didn't like, but in the meantime I was preparing and doing freelancing stuff for some clients and friends that were in the video industry, and I was doing like logo intros, small graphic elements, animated, but I had to do things that people wanted, so it wasn't still the 100% creative part, but
it was creative, but not your creative.
Exactly. Yeah. I have to make people happy about it. So it was a long, rough process, but slowly, I started to get some bigger jobs, but still in Italy, that period, I'm talking about in between 2008 and 2015, we had worldwide, actually, we had a big crisis, but in Italy it was even more difficult. So at that time, as I decided, I was always thinking about going to London for myself, because I really wanted to learn English properly, and I'm still learning. As you can hear, I'm not that great, but bear with me.
You speak very good English, Lokman.
Thank you. Thank you. And I decided to go to London because I heard from many friends that that was the place where to go, especially for 3D graphics and videos. So I went there, and after a month I was every day looking and searching and sending applications, and luckily I found this company where I used to work. I'm allowed to name companies, or it's better not. Squeeze Media, which were fantastic.
We know them very well.
Yeah,
Great people.
Great people. And the funny thing is that I've been there. I did the test, and the next day they told me, okay, come up and let's work. And I stayed there for 2 years and a half, actually. So I didn't change that many jobs there. I was in London. Yeah. I was quite lucky from the beginning. I say lucky. It was tough, but lucky because I found a good place, and I have a very. I was very lucky also for the colleagues, where I used to learn a lot from them, especially a guy, Sebastian, where I was like used to call him the dragon of After Effects and motion design, and crazy. I really liked him because he was so good. The best way to learn is to work on projects from other guys that are very good. So you see how they structure the project, how they deal with the entire process. Because when you do it for yourself, you are just a big mess. You are not clean with your data. You're not clean with your project. You're not clean with data management. Many things that people don't know actually, because you see as a client or as a viewer only the output, the final video, but behind it there are many things that can help you reach sometimes the same goal, but much quicker if you do it properly and you do it the right way. But this is
with less stress.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you have to do it like that, because also with the clients you used to have many feedbacks. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes, but most of the times you end up by having amends to edit, and being clean and structured is crucial for project management and being quick on doing the amends and all the feedbacks. So yes, when I worked there for almost three years, at some point in the meantime, I also had the YouTube channel, but it was just a hobby for me. Yeah. But inside of me, I always had that dream that I said to myself, I was believing it, but I was saying to myself, okay, it will never happen, but maybe it can happen. So I used to make videos, a couple of videos a year, so not that many. And I started to see interest. People liked them, but you cannot just drop a video for every 6 months and pretend it can happen, but pretending that can become successful. So at some point I just decided to leave London for many reasons. The first was expensive, but the second real one
was because I was there bothering you.
No, it wasn't for that. It wasn't enough to make me change in idea.
It was part of it, but not too much.
Part of it, but not the main reason. No, I decided to go back to Italy because I missed Italy, and when I came back, I made a promise to myself. I said to myself, okay, let's stop accepting projects from clients. In the meantime, when I was in London, luckily I saved some money, so I could afford to make this promise to myself too. Stop working for everyone, just dedicating my time every day, every hour of my day to my channel. And I said to myself, okay, let's do it for 6 months and let's see what happened. So I started working on the channel, and luckily after few months the channel just exploded.
I remember those days.
I remember you contacting me. We were friends, but we were not in touch that much before. But then, yes, when I passed the 100,000 subscribers, I remember you contacted me, and
we started working together more.
Exactly.
Because I think we were doing a bit together, working on some stuff before. But then after the 100K, I was like, Lok, this can get very big. and I want to get involved.
Yeah, I remember that. No, you were very, very helpful actually, because you're very good on marketing strategies and stuff that creative people are not thinking about because they are all in the project. But that part of the marketing part on and how to deliver the content is crucial. Because you can have the best content in the world, but if you don't know how to send it, it's just
exactly
wasted.
Right. I think most creative people actually struggle with that. You know, they focus so much on the product, which is a great thing, but then they don't focus at all on the distribution of the product. I see the same in music, arts, animation, YouTubers, everything. They focus so much on the video, they focus so much on the music, and then they don't think about marketing it at all. But I mean, you were quite good already, because your experience with the agency and stuff.
No, yes, that's true. But being a dedicated person is a different story. So that's why I really appreciate not just our friendship, but also your help for on that working side. So that's why I think still today we're working very well together. That's it's not a coincidence. So after that it became a proper job, this YouTube thing. And on my
can you tell us a bit how your schedule was at the start? Like how were you structuring your days? How you were coming up with ideas? What were you doing, like, to say, okay, this is gonna be my next video? And obviously at that time you're thinking, okay, my goal is to grow and obviously make some money with YouTube, because if you leave your job, you need so
sustainable.
What were the things that you were thinking about every day to try and make it happen?
Luckily, thanks to my motion graphic background, actually it helped me a lot, because the structure is always the same overall. Like, you start with the script, the idea, you develop the idea, and then you need to translate this idea on a video. How are you doing it? With a script and then a storyboard. And once you have the storyboard, you have a clear idea. It's like a comic. You have all the boxes.
Can you explain, sorry to interrupt you, can you explain what a storyboard is for people who might not know?
Sure. Okay, so first there is the script, which is like a plain text. It's the story written. It's the text with the entire story of the video. What happens in the video. The storyboard is the translation of the script, but visually. So you have a better idea of what the video will look like. And also is very, very important, because it makes you wasting a little bit of time in the beginning by making this storyboard. But trust me, it will help you a lot in the process of creating the video, because you can see what works and what doesn't work. So you can quickly make changes, because once you do the animation and you start to work on the production, changes are really, really tough, difficult to do, and expensive. It requires you a lot of time. But if you plan it before, it makes all the difference. I remember this phrase from my friend Rich on Squeeze Media. How it was: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Which really,
I agree.
is so true. So the storyboard helps you on this process. So for me, when I come up with an idea, usually my phone, if you see my notes, is full of ideas, and many of them are just rubbish, but few of them, they can be done and are good. And I used to, every day I do that. When I have an idea, when I'm just walking, eating, doing random stuff, I just write down what I'm thinking at that moment. And then when I start to develop the idea, I see what I've written and see, okay, this is work, this is rubbish, this is good, this is not good, this is not good now, because sometimes an idea is good in a different time and another one in another time. It doesn't mean that is not good, but it depends also. The timing is another thing that is very, very important on the content. You can't pretend that a video can work every time, and it's very, very important also the timing during the year. Or during some specific events as well. So if you want to make viral content, another key I don't call it a secret because it's nice to call them secrets, stuff like that, because it's like a clickbait thing when you say, oh, okay,
yeah, exactly.
I tell you something. Actually, secrets are translated by key things. You need to make some specific stuff to make things happen. There's no secrets. You need just to follow some strategies. Strategies are what make things happen and works. Are not secrets. Otherwise, if it was a secret, nobody will know it. Just few people.
Yeah,
but you can replicate success. This is something that at the beginning I didn't know, but really, success is something that can be structured, and replicated as well. Because I did also few other channels, YouTube channels, and I managed to make them grow by following some structures as well. Of course,
can we mention them?
Is guaranteed. Yeah, Spriters is a pixel channel that I have now. It has more than 100k subscribers. Lokman Animation now is more than 20k. Lokman Games, which is more about gaming, is more than 200,000 subscribers. By
the way, we haven't said it, but your main channel is now at 2.3 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Lokman is a very successful guy.
Thank you. So yes, the process.
So what you're saying is like once you have a recipe, you can replicate it, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Because the idea, the creative part, okay, it changed, but the content, the structure, actually is not. It's
always the same,
but it's almost the same. It can be replicated. If you want to make something serial, and you want to repeat it again and again and again, you have to follow a structure. They do it also in Hollywood. They do it in a high-end stuff. They have to follow it. Otherwise, you cannot invent again and again the wheel, like you say in Italy. You have to follow like a structure. Otherwise, seriously, you can't be consistent. That's the thing. You can improvise.
I wanted to ask about
No, sorry, just saying that you can improvise, and you have to give yourself the chance to improvise sometimes. It doesn't mean that you cannot be free on that side, but if you want to be consistent, you need to keep a structure. That I just want to remind this, which is very important.
I wanted to touch on something that you said before about having many ideas and something. Some people could say it was funny how you said it. You said, "Oh, many are rubbish, but a few are good." I actually think that creativity works like that. You have to get out everything, and then the good stuff will come through. You know, like a filter, right? And I guess how do you keep your creativity flowing? That is a good question, I think, for people that are trying to either be YouTubers or also creating our own presence online. Like, how do you keep motivated to keep your creativity flowing and get new ideas all the time?
Okay, this is something that really I have to develop through the years. It's weird, but that is not that weird actually. Your body actually is extremely important. You say, okay, why is connected to creativity? But seriously, your body, when I am trained, when I'm doing sport and eating well, my mind works well. It is funny because you can be creative for a short period of time, but you're not consistent. Again, we are saying the same thing. If you want to be successful in the long term, you need to maintain everything good. Your physique, your mind, your soul, your inner part and outside is very, very important because you need the more stability as you can get, because it's already tough to be in this industry and being constantly there and creating. So for me, for example, the best ideas that I had almost always came when I was walking in the mountain. For example, I used to I'm living near a mountain. I like a natural place and being in a green place.
Yeah, in nature.
So, in nature, yes. For example, when I'm walking there, it's like meditation. everyone has his own way to meditate. For me, is doing sport and being in nature. And there is funny, is weird, but there is where I found the best ideas, like very weird ideas, but I found them there, just walking. And I saw some studies actually as well about that, is how the hormones works and the body flows with your mind, and it makes sense at the end. I discovered it alone. I was not the first one, of course, but I discovered sport and walking is something that really, really helps you. And also food, which you know me, and I'm very, very addictive to sweets and cakes. And
we know you should open a new channel about all
food.
the beautiful cakes you bake.
Exactly. But when you eat healthy, your mind is healthy and you're more stable and you can make things in a consistent way. So yes, my first advice is that find stability. Create your stability. Actually, not find, create it, because if you look for it, you will never find it. You have to create your stability.
Yeah.
That's very important. And then you can structure your life and you can structure your path, whatever it is, music, video, or everything else. So for me, yes, it's very important to be stable, like with my life. Because if outside is not good, inside is bad, and what it comes out is bad as well. So yeah.
I agree. I'm exactly 100% on your page with that. So moving on from this, I remember clearly the moment that we were live waiting for the 1 million subscribers. Can you tell us how it felt when you reached that, and what was I know you, and I know like that, you know, on the day you enjoyed and then you were like, okay, let's get back to work now.
Exactly.
You know. But what were you thinking in the moment, and how did you feel?
No, it was, I had to think about it to feel something, to be honest, because when the process is so long, when it took so much time to reach something, actually the moment and then when it happened, nothing changed, because it took me almost 10 years to reach that point, to reach my first million subscribed. And really it was satisfying to see that number, but at the end really nothing changed, because it didn't happen from one day to another. And I think this is why every experience is different, because for people that reach success quickly and very fast, they feel it and manage it in a different way compared to someone that it took more a long time. So for me it took very, very long time. So it was really rewarding. I was very happy and satisfied, because you know, even if you pretend that you don't care about numbers, we all care about numbers. Having that million number on your channel is a big thing. It was like something great to show it. You know, when you're looking for clients, and you know, just with friends, showing that you reached it, you did it. You have like, it's like a medal. For an athlete, it's not the medal the result. The result is that what is before the training, the hard work and everything. The medal is just like you commemorate the entire process. But yes, it's nothing more than that. I was very excited, but nothing more that on that period. I didn't do any party. I didn't celebrate anything. Just like
I remember the day after you were already working on another video.
That's it. Because luckily I'm doing what I'm loving, which it doesn't mean that is easy or not hard. It's extremely difficult, this job. But I'm not watching the time where, like when I was working for other people, where I was counting the hours. For me, that was death. And you feel like your life is just wasted because you're doing something that you really don't like, and you're not working for yourself. When you do it for yourself, you don't care about hours, how much time it requires to do it. You're just doing it because it's for you and it's your stuff. So yes, that's for me is the real reward. Doing what I love, doing what I like, which again is working much more and is much more tough, but you will like it. I think that's why people work hard on the training, their physique. It's not easy, but the reward is great. Otherwise, they will not do it.
I think there was a quote of someone, I can't remember who, that said, choose a work you like, choose a job you like, and you never work a day in your life.
Steve Jobs.
Something like that.
Steve
Jobs, yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. But he died early, so there's a balance also in your life. That's important to say.
That's true.
Don't get sucked by your job, which is funny said from me, because
exactly.
I'm killing myself. But at least I am aware about this. I'm aware.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it was slightly before that time, but we had, I'm gonna say 3 words, League of Legends. So we had your first, actually, let me roll back slightly. I know that you've always been, and I agree with that, you've always been very protective of your brand, so you never kind of did these like branding deals with random things.
So exactly. I didn't want to just sell my brand just to make money.
Exactly.
And accepting everything.
So we've been waiting for the first one to be a good one that you could really get yourself behind and be proud of it. And when the email from League of Legends came, I remember that you were like, hey, I just got this email, I'm so excited, let's make it happen. Can you tell us a little bit about what you thought about that experience, how it worked in terms of going from negotiation to actually implementing the ideas, and then the results? I know that still nowadays they're using the video for the Italian
that's
advertising.
Funny, because I see sometimes when they're sponsoring the campaign, they show up again my video, which it was 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
I think even more. I think it was 2017, 2016, 17.
Maybe 18, maybe.
17 18.
Or 18. Yeah, almost 6 years actually. Wow.
I will link it down in the description for people who want to see it.
You can find it on their main channel, League of Legends Italy. When I received that email, was great. Was really that email that I was waiting for, brand deal. And when I received it, I spoke with the guy, Jason I think was called. The guy was very nice, that guy. And the funny thing is that he was a fan of the channel.
Yeah, I remember.
He really liked the channel. So that gave me also a big freedom to decide the creativity about the channel. He said to me, okay, I love your channel. Do what is best in your opinion and what you think is the best solution. So I hope all projects and brand deal were like that. So where you have the total freedom and you can do whatever you want, which doesn't mean that you have to destroy the brand. It means that you have to give value to the brand and yourself. So it has to be a win-win. Otherwise, it's just something that is not, again, consistent. This word, I keep saying it again, but consistency is key in life. You have to think always in the long term. You can make good money in a short term, but you can also destroy your reputation and the reputation of others and stop working forever. So you have to be very careful about that. But this also is related to your values in life as well. So I think if you're bad, like as a person, you will do also bad project and you treat badly also other people and other brands. So for me, it's also really all about treating others like I want to be treated. This is very important. We found like really bad guys in the process, but at the end, few of them were very great and they are still there. So this is important. You don't need many people around you. Just the right ones, and is more than enough. So yes, when I received this offer from them, we discussed about it, And I was concerned about the negotiation. This is why you came. I contacted you. Said, okay, Alex, we have a big deal. Go. You have total freedom
Yes.
and manage it. And we are not talking about the prices, but we can say that you doubled the deal. So I'm still very happy about it. We can proudly say that. So for me, the negotiation was easy because I had to give it to you. You did the hard job, hard work on that side. So we went through the process, and again, like I said before, we prepared the script. So it was the text, the story about the video. We sent it to them. They approved it. We developed the storyboard. We prepared all the images of the story. They approved it, and we started the video, and after they accepted, paid us, and they published it.
Yeah, I remember that in that campaign there were also some other very good Italian YouTubers.
Yeah.
Some also, I think a couple were also bigger than you, but somehow your video is the one that is done best out of all of them.
Yeah, that was very satisfying, rewarding, because it means, again, is the content is key, not the channel behind, because you can have also a great channel, but if the content is not good, it's not guaranteed that the content will success.
Exactly.
We were free. In Italy, they chose three big channels. I think they did a good job on choosing the channels, because they select three different, very, very different people. So they have these three types of content. One was, I think, was standard one. The other one was like more drawn in a simple way, and mine was a pixel style, more related to retro games, so they could get the old nostalgia retro gaming guys.
The old guys like us.
Like us, yeah, we're old now. We have back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain.
Yeah, exactly. We live at the physiotherapist.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking about treat well your body and, and go on.
But yeah, I mean, that was a great project. I'm of course, you know, I've just been a very small part of it, but I'm very proud of that project and to have been involved thanks to you. So it's always something that I remember with very good, very nice smile, you know, because it was like I was so happy for you. I was like, yes, he did it, he made it, you know, and I'm part of it, and I'm a small part, I'm a small cog that helped him get there, you know, and it felt so amazing.
And also rewarding, because this kind of job now, maybe you hear more and more about influencer and brand deals, but at the time was something that really just few people in the world used to do this type of thing.
It was just starting out.
Yeah, so it was something really new, so you couldn't compare yourself to others and see, okay, they do it in this way. No, every time was different, so it was very difficult. Difficult.
So yes, after that, obviously a lot of things have happened after that. I know you opened many other channels, including Lokman Games, which leads me to my next question, to my next topic that I wanted to discuss. You are a prolific video game designer and publisher as well.
Yeah. Okay, prolific, not as much as the channel on YouTube, but I'm happy about it, because what I discovered when I decided to start this journey about video game development is that almost 99% or even more don't finish a gaming project.
It's true.
But I'm talking also about big companies, not just like small indie devs. So if you manage to finish a project, a game, and publish it, that is already a success. This is already a big success, because it's extremely time consuming, money, effort, people involved. You can't realize how much work is involved. I'm not talking about you, because you worked on gaming stuff, so you know what it requires and how much effort it requires, and money and people, resources. So when I started this journey about developing a game, I didn't realize at the beginning how much effort will be involved on that. But it took almost 3 years, and at the end we managed to do it, to complete the project, and I'm very happy about the result. Of course, like every job, you are not satisfied 100% about it. You always say, okay, we could do this in this way, this is another way, we could improve that, but at the end, you will never finish the project. You have to reach a point where you say, okay, it's done, and let's move on the next project, which actually I'm doing. I'm working on the second game.
I know. That's why I said prolific. You know, one game every 3 years is coming out.
Okay, we'll be lucky if we can manage to do one game every 3 years. So.
By the way, we can see at the back, you know, on the wall, you can see the nice
my character.
Little thing from the game.
Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty
the
cool.
character that I'm using. I'm using as a brand on my channel. And it's also the character on my game, which is, by the way, for people who don't know, it's me. in an 8-bit pixel, but you can recognize the hair. So and I was very happy about the project, and it's still there, and you can find it on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store.
Again, I will link everything in the description.
Thank you. My dream is also to release a game on a console. I really would like to do that, but again, I don't know. You have to do it just that maybe, or you have to dedicate yourself, because my problem is to do many different things, and unless you can unless you can clone yourself, you have to learn to delegate. But you have to also to understand where to push and where to invest and manage your resources, because if something is not sustainable, you end up by failing. You have to be very careful. Okay, being creative is nice and whatever you want, but at the same time you have to be a business guy and you have to manage the resources, and you cannot like say, okay, we can do creative part, do whatever you want for forever. No, if it's not sustainable, you end up by after 3 months, 6 months by failing, and that's it. So you have to work always with this balance of making things viral enough, but still creative, but still organic, and that can be reached by other people and discovered by new people without you pushing it and spread the word. The key things for videos, but even for music, for whatever the content online or whatever you want, you have to make something that you can go and spread alone. That's the thing. If you want to have successful things, it has to be alive and go with its own feet, like we say in Italy.
You can amplify it afterwards, but if it doesn't go on its own, then it won't work. Even if you, it might work if you put a lot of money in it, but then.
But you can see the opposite example. Big budget movies, big budget artists, musicians, and really with big resource behind, they get noticed at the beginning and after they disappear. So again, if you're thinking about it in the opposite way, you can see the answer, like some Disney movies where like blockbuster movies with big massive budgets just disappear after a few months or a year, or being hated by many. So money, it doesn't mean that you will have success. You have to find the balance.
I agree, 100%. This is crazy because, you know, like I think it all comes down to loving what you do, as you said at the beginning, you know, because if you really love what you do, you are definitely gonna put something out there that is something that you want to be proud of. And then it's going to become...
people will notice that. That's the thing. We'll notice it, trust me, and you know it. They always notice that, and they see it. Even if a small project, a small budget thing, or a big one, they notice it. They always notice it.
Yeah, you can feel the love that you put into it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess another topic that I wanted to talk about, because it's something that has been in the news for a while, is this slow shift to short form videos on all platforms, basically. You know, it came from TikTok and then moved to Instagram, and now YouTube is doing it as well. What do you think about short form content, and what do you think about the people who are getting into YouTube nowadays? How should they navigate this shift?
Okay, I have two feelings about this situation. The first one is that objectively, shorts are a great tool, a great format, because it's very quick, and with just few seconds you can condense many arguments, many message or whatever you want. Like, it's easier to make. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but it's quicker to deliver a content. So I think this is the strength about the shorts. This is why they become so popular, because with you can. It depends on the format and on the creative part. Because, for example, me, I really like complicate my life and complicate things, and I do short mainly with VFX and with the animation. Like, so a short of 10-15 seconds, it can require a week of work. So it's not how it's supposed to be a short. A short, it has to be, in my opinion, something that is very quick to do, and you can just talk to the camera, do something, show something, and post it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so good, but it's so bad, in my opinion, because it makes, I don't want to say a bad word, rubbish, let's say it in this way, spread very easily.
Yeah.
So, and this is what it happened, let's be honest, on TikTok and Instagram with Reels and YouTube with Shorts. There are so many content that's just rubbish, because it's so easy to make, so easy to create, to post, and it makes like the entire sea really bad. There are some few of cases that are very good, but when something is so easy to make, it's easier also to have a lot of content and have this result. It's not good or bad. Again, it's important, because there are so many people that, even for me at the beginning, I was hating this situation, because it was pushing away the long term, the long form videos.
People don't like change, right?
Exactly. So it's difficult to change. It's difficult for everyone. And for my content, I'm more like a storyteller, and I need like at least 2 or 3 minutes for deliver an episode. So having something like that, being restricted by some very short time, is challenging. So it's a good thing. If you think about ads, for example, on television, they have like few seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, almost 30 seconds to deliver something, and they have to do it very well, very efficiently, in a creative way. So it's nice for creativity, don't get me wrong, but for sustainable, for being sustainable, it's not great, because ads are not well paid, actually almost not paid on short contents. So this is why in my opinion, they are destroying the content creation part,
the creator economy,
the industry. Yes. And it's not just me, because I'm also speaking with other content creators. They say me the same thing, and big names, they are just quitting YouTube. But I'm talking about people that have like dozens of millions of subscribers, and they've been in the platform for many years, 15 years or so, and they cannot bear to sustain this rhythm, because this TikTok, let's say TikTok, because TikTok is the platform that made this content very popular. They just like destroyed the, not say creative, but the structure, the professional side of this world. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes
I know what you mean. I do have a question though about it. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Don't you think that, because obviously we noticed that thanks to shorts, it's really easy to grow channels, right?
Yes.
Although it's kind of, you grow big numbers, but they're not as engaged as they were when all content creators were doing like long form content, which is normal and fair to say. But don't you think that maybe this could be a good way to use and try and build and foster community within your followers?
Absolutely. This is something that I did as well. With the gaming channel, I decided to make short content and see what happens. and it grew very quickly, but it didn't create a loyal audience, because this type of content is very quick, is very fast, and the attention rate is very low, because people just consume this content and keep scrolling. Something that is not good in the first second or two. If they are not get attracted by that content, they scroll it. When you're watching a long form video, you are like, your mind is already prepared to stay there, sit and consume that content. So it doesn't mean that something is good or something is bad. It's a different form,
different
of
mindset.
Content. Exactly. And it's also a different delivering. It's like talking about radio and talking about cinema and talking about television and talking about another media. So nothing is bad, nothing is good, or one is better than the other. They're different. But in my opinion, if you are not careful, this type of situation is going to destroy the market. Let's call it like that. Yes, the market of content making, because you can adapt, but it's different, because it is democratizing the content in a different way, so everyone can make content much easily compared to before, but the quality has to drop, because if you want to be that quick, or you have more people, so more resource, but if you cannot get back the investment, you can't continue. That's the thing. It's like
unless, as I said, if you try and build something on the side with that community that you create, then you can monetize in a different way.
In fact, I can say, talking about, like, for example, the Instagram guys, there you are not monetizing that much, but thanks to branding deals, people they made a huge amount of money. So it doesn't mean that it's good or bad. For example, me, most of the time I relied on the ads on the platform on YouTube. So this is why I'm very hit by this situation. But again, there are other people that don't rely on the ads, and they rely on branding deals, and they're making massive money. So again, it depends on you, depends on how you work, depends on the way you strategize your job. So it's up to adapt again, and we don't know what will come again, and you need to adapt. This is the bad and good about life, evolution.
So if a young Lokman was starting out a channel now, today, what would you, like, top three advice that you would give in nowadays environment to a young Lokman starting their own channel?
Like whenever he wants, or on a specific platform?
Let's say YouTube, since we are but in general, like, let's say you're starting your own brand as a content creator. Top 3 advice to make it in today's environment.
First thing, for sure, consistency. Plan what you want to do. If you want to make it as a job, like a living from that, plan it as it will be a job, because you can't pretend revenue from something that is not treated as a proper job, because you have to harvest it, to build it, and then you can get your fruits and your result. But nothing comes like from nothing. You need to do something, and think about something that you can make and create and develop for a long period of time, because maybe you have an idea, a great idea, and it can become successful. But if you don't have the second step, the second idea, the third idea that you can develop, you can't keep up. Like, for example, musicians, you can see they make like a big album or a big single, and after they disappear. You've been lucky, you did the right thing in the right time. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on television, but the key is to have a plan. It doesn't mean that you have to have like a clear idea on everything, because it's impossible, but at least you know that you can replicate this concept again and again and again and again in a more consistent
structured way.
Yes, exactly. Do something that you can, so from the second advice, do something that you can you really enjoy doing it, because it has to be something that you will have to do for a long period of time. Again, it's connected to consistency, because you can do something that is viral, something that is like a trend in this period, and we're talking about this, me and you, about this thing. Okay, you can do something that is successful and it can be rewarding in this period, but if you are like just milking this cow now, like for a few months, few weeks, but when this trend disappears, you will disappear.
Yeah.
So it's
because the audience, when you follow trends, the audience is actually following the trend, not you.
Not you,
right?
exactly. You said the right thing. Because you are using the trend, so you're getting dragged by the trend, but you're not the trend and you're not dragging the audience. So it's important to do something that build an identity, which is something that I'm working on still today. It's very difficult. It's not that easy to create a brand identity, something that is just you and is not a copy of someone else. Third one, train well, eat well, treat well your body, because you're supposed to work a lot. So you have to like have a good engine. You have to rely on your body. So it's very important. It seems like a joke, but it's very, very important, because if the environment is good, not just your body, but also your environment, your family. If you are like have a family, or you're working you're living with your parents, or whatever is your situation, be in a good environment, because when you are like in a bad environment, ideas will stop flowing, you will not work well, and you get involved in this toxic environment. Is not good. It's very, very important to be in a good environment.
I totally agree with that. I think you said you hit the nail on the head with that, and this is great advice for everyone starting out. I know it's quite generic, but it's the right things to think about. And then obviously the specifics.
It's not just related to YouTube or social, every business. But actually, it's a business. If you want to do it as a work, it's a business. So yes, you have to do the things that businesses requires. So again, you don't have to reinvent anything. Just find your way, find the path that is more is better for you. But again, consistency is key, like on everything. And if you think that, this is another advice, if you think that you cannot reach consistency by doing something that you want, try to do it like in a smaller amount, but at least you will keep it consistent.
So instead of doing, let's say, okay, I decide I want to do 3 videos a week, and you already know that you won't have time for it, it's better to do 1 video a month rather than doing 3 videos per week for 3 weeks and then never again.
And disappear.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. This is another key thing. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great advice for sure. What about your future, Lokman? I know that you've been working. Can we talk about it? The Lokman studio.
Of course, you can talk about
it. You've been working, building this amazing.
400 meters squared of studio.
Yeah, exactly. My God. It's, video studio, production studio, everything all at once, right?
It's killing me, but it's the result of everything I've done. So it's like how I will materialize the entire process, the entire background that I have. Like it's something that I can say to myself, I built something material, it's there, and I can be creative in a place that is mine, and help also other people being creative, and find a space where they can develop their creativity. And this is something that I learned in London when actually we met there in a Google space when we met for the first time.
YouTube space, it was called.
YouTube space, which is owned by Google. And I felt in love when I saw those kind of spaces, because you could feel the creativity flows when you are in a good environment. Again, talking about the environment, it's very important to be surrounded by an environment that can feeds your creativity and helps you overcome the issues that can happen and you can find in your way. So having a space that is not, because me, for example, I'm working in my studios, which is my home, but again, it's good, but I think you need like a proper space. Like when I was at school, if I wanted to study, I had to go in the library. There were no other excuses, because there you know that you're going there for studying.
Yeah.
That's the place to study. Again, for training, I used to train at home, but I was not consistent. I go to the I go back to the gym. Like there you have no excuses. You are there to train, and you will train. Same thing with creativity for me and my job. I need a space where to develop and be in the mood. And then when I finish, I go out and I keep up with my life.
We are exactly the same. We're exactly the same, as you know.
So this studio, and I can't wait to show it to you when it will be ready. It's the second year we're working on. It takes a lot of time, money, and effort, but because it's big. It's quite big, expensive, and in the meantime, I'm managing my channel and many other things. Again, the best way to complicate your life. Keep adding more and more, stacking more and more things. But again, I'm like that, so I have to accept this. So I can't wait to finish it. And the idea is to make like a creative hub where I will have a green screen, and recording studio for audio, podcast, audio recordings, co-working spaces, and I want to make things like that are very creative, that they will makes you want to do, to create and be more creative. So let's hope for the future.
Yeah. Well, Lokman, I think this is a great spot to finish for this time. Hopefully we will do round 2 at your studio, in the future.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, of course.
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you would like to share with us, or
let's keep it for the next episode?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, Lokman, that you've been one of my dearest friends over the last few years, and I just want to, say it publicly. I'm really grateful to be in your life as a friend and collaborator. And
thank you. Me too.
I really appreciate you as a person, as a professional, and as a creator. So keep rocking, man.
I know it, but I really appreciate it, and I really like, and I enjoyed it, hear it from you, and thank you. Same to you, really.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, see you everyone on the next time.
Bye.
Bye.